Judy. Welcome to my kitchen. The last couple of months at the library we've been featuring a different spice and some recipes to go with it. And this month our featured spice is anise. Now you may not have ever cooked with anise seed before. I haven't. But anise seed is one of the world's oldest cultivated spices because of its licorice flavor and its digestive properties. So you probably tasted anise seed before, but maybe you've never actually cooked with it. It's a member of the parsley family and comes from the Eastern Mediterranean. Today it's used in cough syrup, throat medications, candy, and licorice-flavored alcoholic drinks. Now this is not to be confused with star anise, which is actually from a different family. It's from the magnolia family. It comes in a little star-shaped seed pod with a little seed in each arm of the star. Even though they both have the licorice flavor, they are not from the same plant family. So today we're going to make biscotti. And I've never made biscotti before. It's an Italian cookie that's dry and crumbly because it's baked twice. So we're going to bake a loaf, then we're going to slice it up, and we're going to bake it again. And it was first baked in the 14th century because it was mold resistant because of the low moisture content, and sailors used it on their ships, and even Columbus had biscotti when he sailed. So one of the traditional flavors of biscotti is anise seed. And also almonds are also usually included in biscotti. This recipe does not have almonds in it. But it is an old Italian recipe. So in my bowl I've already started, and I have 4 cups of flour, a cup of sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and a pinch of salt. And to that I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of the anise seed. And it even smells like licorice. Okay, I'm going to whisk that all together. And I'm going to make a little well in the center to put my 4 eggs and my 1/4 cup of melted butter, which has cooled. I'm going to put my butter in. See the well I've made in the center. I think I might beat my eggs just a little bit just to break those yolks up. I'm going to pour those in the center. This is going to make 3 loaves that I'm then going to cut into slices and bake for the cookies. So I'm going to mix all this together, and then I'm going to knead it a little bit, and I'm going to divide it into 3 loaves. So pretty soon here I'm probably going to go into this with my hands to get it really mixed together. I'm going to put a little flour on the counter. Onto my hands. Looks like it's going to be a pretty crumbly dough here. So when I get all this mixed together, I'm going to form it into loaves. So I think I'll just go ahead and make a loaf here. And it says my loaf should be 12 inches long and 2 inches wide. So I think I'm going to do it out here on the counter. And then I'm going to put it onto a greased baking sheet. Okay, let's see about how long that is. Oh, not quite long enough, so I'm going to add a little more dough to this one. And I've got my oven on, so when I get one done, I'm going to pop it into the oven. Put it on my greased baking sheet. Okay, then when I get the other ones made, I'm going to pop this into the oven. Alright, so a little disclaimer here. I had so much trouble forming my dough into loaves because the dough was really dry. So I did add a couple more tablespoons of melted butter. You could have added water, but butter would have made it a little more richer. So I did add a couple more tablespoons of melted butter to make my dough easier to shape into loaves. And then I baked it at 350 degrees for 30 minutes. I've let it cool for 5 minutes, and now I'm going to slice it diagonally and put it on another cookie sheet here. And then I'm going to bake it again for 15 minutes, and I'm going to turn it at about halfway through. So I'm going to make about maybe 1/2-inch slices. It's a little crumbly, but it's going to be even drier when we get it back out of the oven. And biscotti is traditionally made to dunk in tea or milk or coffee, or if you're in Italy, you might dunk biscotti in your wine. So it's a very dry, crumbly cookie, not really meant to be eaten all by itself like this. So I'm going to put these back in the oven for 15 minutes at 350, and I'm going to flip them halfway through so both sides get dried out. And we'll see the result when we come back. So here we have our anise seed biscotti. Biscotti comes from an Italian word which means twice baked, which is what we did with these cookies. And it actually has a very mild licorice taste, so I might even add a little more anise seed the next time I make them. So hope you try our new spice anise seed and give biscotti a try. See you next time.